Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. If you guys have been enjoying the content that I've been creating lately, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Last video we got over 20 likes, so you guys know I opened up some Pokemon cards for that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some Mythic Plus. Now, Mythic Plus is completely different than rating statistics. When you're looking at, for example, let's just look at this chart. I have more things that I'm going to talk about than just this chart, but just for an example, really quick, as you guys can see, Arcane Mage is lower, but it doesn't mean they're a bad class, because Arcane Mage is actually the leading damage overall right now in Shadowlands-Pre Patch. So it's actually it's an amazing class. It doesn't mean that they suck. It just means that they're not as good in a Mythic Plus environment. Frost Mage is, it's better in that situation. So we're going to kind of talk about a lot of things. Like I kind of mentioned, this is the pre-patch. This is not Shadowlands. Shadowlands, things will be changing. We're going to be taking some, the artifact power away and stuff like that. But we can kind of see what classes are being played right now and what classes are doing well. These classes are not just going to suck immediately when you go into Shadowlands. So you guys can kind of get an edge. You guys can kind of see what classes are doing good and, what classes are probably going to be doing pretty well moving forward. So first thing is, let's look at some of these classes that are being represented here and some of the scores that they're having. Outlaw Rogue is doing amazing. They're actually they're the top most represented rogue class that is doing Mythic Plus at the moment. They are not the most popular. The most popular one is BM Hunter. BM Hunter is actually represented the highest at like 6.6% of the player base is actually playing a BM Hunter. So they're doing really well also, and they're actually the most represented class that's out there right now. But the highest Mythic Plus dungeon that has been done is Mechagon. It's Mechagon Junkyard at a 34. So that is a super high key, and that was timed. Now, the classes that did that, it was a rogue. These are for DPS, rogue, mage, and warlock. So as you can see, the warlock is not number one, but for the top DPS team, we have an affliction warlock in there. We have a paladin healer, and we have a monk tank. The brewmaster monk is doing really, really well. And statistically wise, it looks like it is actually, let me look at these. So it is the second. Wow. So protection of paladins are actually the at 4.6%. They're actually protection paladins the most highly played tank class at the moment. But Brewmaster is actually at 2.2, coming in third, actually, behind Protection Warrior. So, and when I say these classes are being represented, it's a lot of these players enjoy playing a lot of these classes, and you don't have to be a certain class to get a high score, on trying to get keys done and things. But when you start breaking down the top DPS and who is healing and who is tanking, it starts to become the same things over and over and over. And I'm gonna look over here and I'm gonna give you guys the top 10 right now. So the top 10, all Brewmaster monks, and that's just across the board, all Brewmaster. And when you look at the healers, you actually have two healers. You have the Druid and the Paladin. And for DPS for top 10, you have Warlock, Mage, Rogue, Hunter, And that's it. So those are the top. Those classes are, you know, the very, very tip of the iceberg. Those are the highest scores that you guys are going to see for Mythic Plus so far. We might get a little bit higher of a key before, you know, things go into Shadowlands. But overall, that's kind of what's going on right now. So the best classes are kind of represented all the same right now. Now, are you a tank? Are you a healer? Are you DPS? If you're a healer, you're going to be wanting to play a paladin or a druid. Those two are doing amazing right now, but that doesn't mean that those other classes are doing bad. So if you look at Disciplined Priest on the chart is actually right under Holy Paladin and Restoration Druid. So, you know, they're right up there. So it's not like it's if you pick one of these classes, it's going to be horrible. If you go down all the way on the chart and you see Fire Mage, you know, Fire Mage is it's probably just not as represented in this chart. Doesn't mean that there's not certain positions in Mythic Plus that they're not going to do well in. So just remember that when you guys are kind of picking a class to play. But overall, when you're doing Mythic Pluses, you know, these are like, this is the top, this is the best of the best. You don't have to be worried about that. Play a class that you enjoy, play a class that you have fun with, and that's going to probably push you higher in your keys than playing a class that's supposedly the best if you don't enjoy playing that class. So, that said, hopefully this information helped you guys. I know this information is not Shadowlands yet, but it's fun just to look at where we're at, and, you know, 2 years down the line, we come back to this video and actually see what classes we're doing what. I like to kind of visually see that sometimes. So, that said, like, favorite, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. If any of this information helped you guys out, make sure that you guys are hitting that subscribe button, all the likes, and even dislikes. You know, if you guys dislike something, whatever, hit that dislike button. All of it helps me out. So, leave a comment, tell me how your day was going, tell me what class you play, and I will talk to you guys soon.